Well, you're very welcome back. It's the Time Out Podcast Extra, and Mark Forker has joined me for this part. Mark, good man.
No worries, hey, go easy on me here.
Oh, well, these are the quick fire questions, Mark, and all soccer related.
That's
so,
grand.
yeah, so again, thanks for being a part of the actual podcast itself, episode 91, and we hope people will enjoy that as well. So, Mark, this is a bit more lighthearted. So, your childhood hero growing up, Mark?
Henrik Larsson.
Henrik Larsson. One rule change if you could make it to football at the minute.
I think we chatted about it already. I would say scrap fire.
Right.
Does that count?
Yeah, you're not a fan of it.
Not a fan.
Yeah. Definitely a lot of people agree with you, including myself there.
Yeah.
A footballing cliche that you like?
Footballing cliche, that's a good one, that. It's a game of two halves.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I don't know if I like it or not, but
that's it's a one well often used. Yeah. Messi or Ronaldo?
Oh, easy. Messi.
All
day long.
Yeah, well, Messi. I'd be Ronaldo, but I'm a bit biased.
You need it, man.
Best player that you've played with?
Oh, best player that I've played with, I would say Tony Shields. Only played with him briefly for Finn Harps, but he actually played for Peterborough in England for a number of years. He's from Strabane. Phenomenal talent. Anyone that would have watched Finn Harps when Tony was there would know how good a player he was. Phenomenal. Just centre midfielder as well, and he was different level then.
I see. Yeah, Tony, yeah, it's an interesting one. A favourite World Cup memory of yours?
A favourite World Cup memory? First World Cup I remember was 94, but didn't really know what was going on, so I'd have to say 98, and I would say the World Cup final in 98.
Yeah,
Zidane, two headers.
Ronaldo's injury
too. Ronaldo's obviously brilliant, but I would say earliest, as I said, I had a few memories in 94, but now the 98 World Cup was the first one I really enjoyed, so I would say the World Cup final.
Yeah, well, definitely was it's Zidane's moment in France, in Paris there. And the next question, Mark, is a World Cup classic match that you recall?
World Cup classic match. Let me think.
Was a hard enough question to.
There's been loads of them. Like I would say, obviously, again, what I would say, just because of my earliest memory, Argentina and Holland in 98, I think it was a quarter final. Bergkamp scored an unbelievable goal. That was a brilliant game. Like
yeah, it was a great game.
So it's kind of falls in the same category, maybe earliest memories, but that was a classic, probably classic goal as well.
It was unbelievable talent. Bergkamp. Here's a tricky one that might be for you: R9 or Maradona?
Oh, you know what? Just because I think Maradona's probably the best player to ever play football, actually, just from watching documentaries on him and seeing footage, but I don't remember him. But R9 was my first
great player
in terms of global superstar. I know my childhood hero was Larsson, but you were getting to see him every sort of week with Celtic. But no, I would say I would go R9 just because he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I got to see a lot more of him, obviously, than Maradona.
Yeah, great. One of the all-time greats, the two of them, hey?
Brilliant.
Yeah. This is a bit of a different quick fire question, but how did you get on with referees generally in your career?
Not great, I would say. You could maybe ask some of the Donegal Junior League referees at the minute. I'd say it could be you could get mixed results, but look, honestly, hey, there's no game without referees.
That's it.
And it's not an easy job for them, especially not at amateur level where they're out reffing and they're trying to do. There's no VAR there. They're trying to do
that's it. Yeah.
They're trying to do offsides and everything themselves, and they don't get it easy. But relationship would be grand. I would have respect for them. Like
yeah, definitely, it's not an easy job.
No.
We can appreciate that much. You answered the first question, childhood hero. I think it was Henrik Larsson. So this question was favourite ever Celtic player. So maybe we'll go to your second favourite Celtic player.
Well, no, what I'll do, another hero of mine growing up was Robbie Fowler. Robbie Fowler. I was a Liverpool fan, so again, he was an unbelievable player, especially in the mid-90s there when I was following Liverpool. So I would go Fowler.
An incredible finisher.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
Yeah, definitely was. And your record keeping up,
I don't know if I have the stats now. I remember I used to write them down. I used to try and beat them, but I definitely got over 1,000.
Over 1,000. Wow!
But Matthew Smith was I'll give a shout out to him. He was the keep you up king. I think he done 3,000 or 4,000.
Wow!
But no, definitely got over 1,000. But I used to work on them all the time.
Yeah.
And so if I got 400 one day, I'd try and get the next. So over a period of months.
Yeah.
But
That's where I'm going, in fairness. I couldn't even dream of 1,000 to do 1,000 today. It's a job for me to do 10.
You should have challenged me now to see if I could do the on camera. That would be...
I'll tell you, it'll be a job for me to do 10. I can tell you that much, right? A thing that you dislike about the modern day game, we mentioned VAR. Is there anything else about the modern day game?
Modern day game that I dislike? Probably some people would laugh. Maybe me saying this because I'm not the most physical player, but there's definitely a lack of physicality in the game.
Yes.
I think, it's become a wee bit sanitised, and some of the tackles maybe that would have been made 10 or 15 years ago would be red cards now. So I think the lack of physicality in the game has definitely not been helpful. Yeah,
that's an interesting take there. Ever badly injured, Mark?
No, very lucky in terms of, played a lot of football, and really unlucky. The worst injuries I've had is a couple of sprained ankles and a pulled calf, so I've been very, very lucky in that regard.
Yeah, so that's good that you weren't badly injured. A tip for the future in terms of a soccer star?
Well, I'd say we were chatting about him earlier.
Yeah.
I'd say locally, I would say I'd have to talk about the young fella Gavin McAteer. He's 15 years of age, and he's playing first in football for Finn Harps. So I'd say locally, star of the future would be Gavin McAteer.
Yeah, people are going to be watching out for that one now. Yeah, and sounds like an exciting prospect. A football documentary that you loved, that you watched recently?
Football documentary that I loved. There was a documentary that I loved. It was called The Two Escobars. I would recommend somebody watch it. It's actually about sort of Colombian football, and there was a footballer called,
that's right,
it was Escobar, and then it was like he was actually killed after he scored a goal at the USA '94 World Cup, and then really good documentary. So I'd recommend that, called The Two Escobars.
I see.
ESPN 30 for 30.
I see.
Loved it.
Yeah. Final one, Mark, is YouTube or Netflix?
YouTube or Netflix? YouTube. I'll go YouTube.
I'd be same.
I had had my own channel on it.
You did.
But no, look, enjoy Netflix too, but no, I have a wee bit of a more...
well, YouTube I think would be my number one thing that I'd nearly watch. Yeah.
YouTube, just for the shorter content and stuff like that as well. Like obviously Netflix, you might have to commit to an old series, and it's never a quick watch, whereas definitely probably, if you check my phone, I'd say I use YouTube more. Yeah,
YouTube just as well. We'll give that podcast here as a plug that you were doing a number of years back with sort of former Finn Harps players and managers allergic to silverware.
The silverware, so...
Yeah, it was during the pandemic times.
It was, it was a COVID project. Keep going on it, so we had a good laugh doing it for a couple of years. Yeah,
so people will be give that a check out. And Mark, a big thanks for being a part of the podcast and for this part, the visual part.
Not a problem, Tony. It's been a pleasure. Thanks.
Definitely a pleasure. Thanks, Mark. Thank you.